So the long wait is finally over. I finally got a chance to sit down at the movie theaters and watch My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, the latest film out of the franchise. And if I was to just tell you one thing, if you weren't gonna watch the entire review, which I'm gonna be as spoiler free as I possibly can, maybe to a degree, I think at the end I'll give you guys a spoiler warning when I talk about the ending of the film, but if I was to tell you guys a simple sentence or two regarding what this movie did for me before you exit out of here, I will tell you this. This movie very much so reminded me exactly why I got into My Hero Academia and why I love the series, like the series, enjoy the series, all in one. It reminded me of every freaking thing about the franchise that I enjoy, and it bundled it up nicely with beautiful visuals, music, scores, and awesome action. But we're gonna break this bad boy down. Let's talk about that My Hero Academia Heroes Rising greatness! Ooh baby, I'm excited. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. So yeah, we finally got the My Hero Academia latest film, Heroes Rising, over here in the West. I want to say it came out December 20th, 2019 in Japan, but they're finally showing it over here in theaters. I got a chance to check out the English sub, so the Japanese version, thankfully, because I've been following the My Hero Academia series in Japanese to begin with, and I mean, I'm not a native Japanese speaker or anything like that, but for the most part, everything was on point. I did feel as though it was interesting to hear Deku's tone a little bit change, like when he's talking to the kids. So just talking about the performance, you know, vocally, it was on point. Like every character played their part very well, and I did notice a few different little things here or there. Like I said, Deku, his voice got real soft, so you can see that he's slowly but surely understanding every small aspect of becoming or just being a hero in general. Like, yo, if you're talking to kids, maybe you should talk a little like this instead of being yo, but Bakugo ain't gonna play that shit. So the film opens up with the League of Villains are escaping in this van with this guy. His name is Nine. He's the main baddie of the entire film. Endeavor stops them, but they eventually are able to escape alongside this guy Nine, and he regroups with some of his old comrades. Now, one of the interesting things about this film, a little tidbit trivia, is originally the ending of this film was supposed to be the ending of My Hero Academia's manga. The author had came out and said that that was his original idea for the, I guess, the final fight or something along the lines of that, but he actually used that idea for this film. So you can imagine if the creator was going to use the idea of what goes down at the end of this film for his original manga, that it's going to be insane. And boy, was it freaking insane. But again, we'll get to that later. Because essentially the main villain, Nine, he is a quirk thief. He essentially can take people's quirks, similar to All For One. And All For One, my guy was referenced a lot throughout the film, because Nine's, you know, again, his power that he has is that he's able to absorb people's quirks. I want to say he's able to take up to 8, and he has one himself, so that's 9 quirks right there. And for the most part, honestly, this film, it was a very simple plot. The big thing is that he needs this one quirk so that he could use it to essentially heal himself, stabilize himself, because it's very taxing and it kind of destroys him every time he uses one of these quirk powers. And these two kids, Mahoro and Katsuma, one of them, the boy, is his target because he actually has the exact quirk. Originally he goes after their pops, but his quirk was particular to like a blood type of A. The little boy is a blood type of B, and I want to say Nine's blood type is B, and that's the only way he's able to use that quirk. So throughout the film, he is trying to get his hands on this kid. The kids of class 1A from UA, they have been assigned this remote island to protect it, as like they're basically acting as if they're full-blown heroes. So we get all of class 1A, and hands down I can say that this film definitely delivered in giving each character their time to shine without it feeling as though like, oh, that was unnecessary. Like every character, like, you know, Mineta, for example, he played his role of being a comedic relief, very funny, a lot of laughs in the theater. So, you know, every character had their part. Bakugo was hilarious, and he's accidentally hilarious because he's such an asshole. Like when he finds out that the kids is tricking people with their quirk to make it seem as though there's villains and shit, like him screaming at them, and then Deku coming in. It's almost as though there would be a great duo if they were full-blown heroes, Deku and Bakugo, like good cop, bad cop. Bakugo is gonna be the asshole that is gonna scream. Deku's gonna be like, yo, chill, like don't worry about my partner. Like they definitely are good cop, bad cop, but throughout the film it is displayed that they are such, because Bakugo, you know, he's still growing, he's still learning, but I think there's a certain amount of respect that he commands that you see throughout the film. By the end, that these kids are like, yo, he is cool, like even though he's an asshole, he's cool. I will say, like, because normally with My Hero Academia, it feels as though Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki are the big three. Todoroki's role in this film wasn't as big as Deku and Bakugo. You could argue, well, it's because, one, he's not filled in on the secret of things, and that's one of the main crucial pieces, especially towards the end. So Todoroki isn't a big playing role. He more so is helping out with fighting these guys like the underlings of 9. But overall, when it came to Todoroki, he was still useful. He was doing his thing. We got, again, beautiful art and animation in this film. Was just absolutely gorgeous, and a lot of fights, because even though it was once again just fighting against the same people, 9 and his crew, it just looked amazing. It was freaking awesome, like seeing Bakugo having to blow out one of his, you know, grenade things that he has on his arm. Like they really went all out in this film, and the plot itself really isn't that complex. So if you want to sit down, if you're a first time viewer, you're not a My Hero Academia fan, you can sit down, watch it, and get the gist of it. This guy is stealing superpowers. He's after this one kid that could help him sustain himself. The heroes gotta come and stop him. We did get to see some of the League of Villains, like I said earlier in this review. Of course, we got, you know, pretty much all the main ones, but you do see Shigaraki throughout this film quite often. So it's still showcasing, like, it feels as though it's not like completely a radical, just like, hey, some villains came along, because they're essentially working as a part of the League of Villains, and it's still Shigaraki's goal. So it almost feels like this is like a canonical arc, like this could have actually happened in the manga. Which, by the way, let's talk about that real quick. For those that are not manga readers, currently where the anime is at right now, I actually just caught up the night before to the anime. They're in the school festival arc, where basically like the characters are trying to put on this play, or this performance, so to speak, with the whole gentle and love lover bravada. But where the movie is at is more so closer to where the manga is at, which is quite a ways away. So definitely a few spoilers are going to be in there if you are an anime only and you don't read the manga. Light, but nevertheless, there's a couple different things. For example, the explanation about One for All. There's a little bit of details in there that maybe you did not know about. Also something to do with Endeavor's face. A scar that he has. Again, you may not have context. I noticed Hawks was more prevalent in here, and he really hasn't been that prevalent in the anime just yet. So it feels as though this movie should have been delayed a little bit, like maybe next year this film should have come out when we get the next couple of arcs, because I want to say it takes place after My Villain Academia, that arc that, again, I'm trying to be as spoiler free as I possibly can. So it does feel as though the film was kind of more so like gearing towards like, hey, anybody could watch it, but if you're an anime only, you might get spoiled on a couple of details. Although Deku didn't use certain aspects of things that he should be using. So again, it was give and take. It's like, it's not the biggest spoilers in the world, but yeah, it's more so geared toward anybody can watch it, but anime onlys, watch at your own risk. And like I said, the battles was awesome. The art and animation was great. Seeing them really coming in. Like if you watch the beginning of My Hero Academia and see how the kids originally were, to see where they at right now, like they feel like they are truly full-blown heroes. All of them are tending to situations and really learning how to navigate, and understanding at this particular point how to navigate as being full-blown heroes, and not just being like, you know, oh, this is an assignment, I'm working under a hero. They feel like they are really heroes in this film. We got to see a lot of the senseis as well, although they're not really that integral to the plot. We get to see All Might, we get to see, like I said earlier, Endeavor, we get to see Aizawa, but thankfully they were actually held back because they're not on the island with these kids. They stood back at UA, so it gives the opportunity for the characters to not just have like the, you know, senseis over their shoulders. Like the full-blown risk is there, like, yo, they could die. They don't have people that are gonna just swoop in. You know, All Might has already lost its powers at this particular point anyway. Nobody can save them but themselves. And I got nothing but praise for this film. Like, you could argue maybe the beginning of it is a bit of a build-up, maybe a little slow. You could argue they're doing small tasks for this island, helping people out, the kids being bothersome, but the kids were pretty important. Like, of course, it was teaching a lesson as well. No matter how young you are, if you have a dream, you want to save people, you want to be a good person, a hero, you can do that. Like, don't let anything stop you. So very basic ideals in this one, but the finale, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if they were inspired by the last Dragon Ball Super film, the Broly film, where the action pieces was just all over the place, incredible, but that's what it gave me vibes of. Like the final fight with Deku and Bakugo, again, spoilers, not really, because again, it's simple. Deku and Bakugo versus 9. Oh my gosh, it was freaking incredible. And here's where I am going to add now a spoiler warning, because I'm going to talk about a very, very, very big spoiler that happens during this fight with Deku and Bakugo versus 9. So if you haven't seen the film, you don't want to know the spoiler, you're about to watch it, whatever, I am warning you, I am about to go into detail on this, and it's a big spoiler. You have been warned. Deku passing over Bakugo one for all. That shit was like, yo, that made the fight 10 times grander. Like, 9 was too much for them. He has so many quirks at his disposal. He has them pinched up, and Deku using that, which again, I want to say that was going to be the original ending to My Hero Academia, that Horikoshi decided, you know what, I want this film to be big and huge. Let me give this idea to the actual film, and it was executed amazingly. Deku and Bakugo, once they both have one for all going in it with 9. Oh man, like honestly, it showcases that Bakugo very much so would be a great holder of one for all. He utilized the power. Like, you know, he didn't need time to adjust, which you could argue that's an ass pull, whatever, but he's already experienced. Like when Deku got one for all, he was just learning how to be a hero. It took him forever. With this one, it was like, yo, he's already an experienced hero. He knew what he needed to do. He's seen Deku use it a million times. He understands the secret, and wow, it seriously gave me vibes of the Dragon Ball Super Broly film. Like it was that climactic and impactful. It was interesting, the score that they chose for the last few bits of the fight, where it was kind of like this slow ballad, and you're just seeing the fight, this gorgeous fight with like this slow ballad where you would think it would be like a high energy, like but like no, it was just like this really sad song in a way. Like it sounded sad anyway, it was in Japanese, and they're going at it, seeing Bakugo and Deku, their look, their character design, the art, the animation. 9 wasn't no pushover by far, and they did everything they possibly can, and thanks to that passover of the power, they were able to take down 9 and save the frickin' day. Now, I will say, if there's anything that is an ass pull, and I don't know if this was going to be the entirety of the idea for the manga, but in the end, because, you know, obviously if Deku passes on one for all, Bakugo's supposed to, you know, stay with it. That's supposed to be his power. But when All Might shows up, he grabs him and he's like, he lifts their arms like, yo, y'all did it. And Deku starts crying, which that shit had me emotional. I'm not gonna lie, when Deku's crying, like, oh, it kind of had me a little, like, I'm holding the tears back. Because, you know, he always wanted to be a hero and he thought his dreams was over. But the ass pull of it is like, when All Might says, well, it's thanks to a miracle of all the predecessors, because they saw the situation, they allowed Deku to maintain one for all and didn't give it away to Bakugo. They just essentially let him use the power. I guess if you just say, hey, you know, it's a miracle, then hey, it was a miracle, but it did feel a little bit like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like I want Bakugo to maintaining, you know, the story has to continue. If this is supposed to be wedged in somewhere into the series and feel like it's in continuity of the actual manga and the anime and story and stuff like that, then you can't take away one for all for Deku, from Deku, but it still felt as though like, they could have found a better reasoning, in my opinion, as to why he didn't. Like at first when All Might was like, oh, it's because he fell unconscious, that's why the passing of the torch wasn't able to fully happen, and then when he said, no, it's a miracle, I'm like, I guess. I mean, it does have a will of its own in a way if you think about it, especially if you're a manga reader, but I ain't gonna lie, that ending, that is one of the fights. I wouldn't be surprised, and again, it's not an ongoing anime, so I don't know how this would work with the award ceremony at the end of the year for, you know, anime manga, but as far as fights go, this was up there. It gave me, again, I gotta keep on stressing because the fights in Dragon Ball Super Broly were incredible. That's what it felt like, just climactic, insane, gorgeous art, gorgeous animation, interesting musical choices, and all around this film, highly recommended. Even if you're not a My Hero Academia fan, I think this would actually get you really interested in the actual franchise. And again, one more spoiler I gotta talk about, which showcases just how dastardly Shigaraki really is, because he did it in the overhaul arc, and then he does it to 9 at the end. He essentially kills him. He's like, okay. It just pumps up Shigaraki even more, that if we get another film down the road, which the author said he probably won't be doing any more My Hero Academia films, I don't know why, but Shigaraki is going to be the ultimate villain. He really doesn't care. He's an agent of chaos. Look what he does to 9 after he was just like a part of the League of Villains crew. He just fucking turns him to dust right there. Shigaraki, incredible villain. I love it. He is truly an evil piece of crap. But I'm curious what you guys thought of the film, My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you think about that final plot twist with Deku and Bakugo versus 9? What do you think about the film overall? All the build up. Again, I'm not always fond of like having little kids involved in the big grand scheme of, you know, people are dying or people are getting seriously injured and shit like that. Did you care about that? How did you feel about the overall plot? Which it was, again, it was simplistic. A lot of fights, comedy, seeing all of our favorite class 1A characters involved. Like, everybody had their moment. Like, that was freaking awesome. And your overall thoughts of the film as a whole, where does it stand in the series for you? Do you feel as though it's a great essential piece? And does it fully fit as like it could be in continuity for manga readers, especially because anime onlys, again, this is a ways off. Does it feel as though it could fit somewhere in maybe one of the like 2 months later type of deals, one of the small time skips that we've had in the series? Like, it truly fits. And again, just your overall thoughts of that final battle, Deku and Bakugo. Oh my god, 9 got his ass whipped. That's all I have for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links of course in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in, and go check out My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. Especially My Hero fans, you need to check that shit out. It is legit A1 sauce stamp, baby.
Everything good always comes to an end. If you stab me in my back, we can never make amends. Trying to move to acceptance, hard to accept it. Mistakes like mirrors, gotta reflect it. I don't wanna fucking leave, but I gotta leave the maybes to the crazies. Maybe one day there I go admitting something in a subtle way. No more copies, leave without a trace. Last time, I'ma say last time. Moving on to the future, leave the memories as a pastime. Memories always feel like the worst, dating all the past, leave it in a hearse. Sometimes I wanna lie, but I don't. Why lie when truthfully you get caught in it? Then usually it's all off and shit, uncalled for shit. Now I'm off the shit. Maybe lately what I've been facing got me crazy. No, I can't take it. Maybe